Welcome again. My name is Emily Guida-Foose. I am the Executive Director at Red Wing Arts, and I am so honored to be able to present the 14th Annual Plein Air Exhibit and Festival event. I first want to start by thanking all of our artists who opted to participate in this year's festival. Without you and your sharing of our talents, your talents, we wouldn't have had this event. I know it was a stretch potentially for some of you, and maybe out of your comfort zone, but thank you all for just jumping in, being bold, and bringing life to Red Wing through Plein Air. As we open our awards reception, again, those of you who just joined, I'm at the gallery and I'm so alone. I miss you all being here in person. I miss the celebration and the energy that you guys bring to this event here in person with me. But we can still do this. We can still celebrate art and life. So let's start by first just having sorry, my pages. I always like to start by acknowledging that we are located within the sacred homeland of the Dakota and other indigenous sovereign nations. We acknowledge the generations of elders and youth, past and present and future, whose experiences of this place inform us of our responsibilities to each other as relatives. And we truly are. If you look where the depot sits in this land of Red Wing, we acknowledge where we came, the heritage we live in and on, and those who built this place. So welcome and thank you for joining us. Just a few things, you are all muted so that we don't have background noises. If and when you need to talk, if there's opportunities to talk for artists, you can hold your, or any guest, we'll kind of announce that. Feel free to hold your space bar down and that will allow you to talk. For those who are new to Zoom, in your top right corner, typically you can change your views from speaker to gallery. Gallery allows you to see all of the people participating. Right now we have about 70 people participating with us. Or you can just focus on the speaker. And when I share the screen, I'm going to share our exhibit. That might change your view, so just be patient through it. I also want you to ask for grace as we go through this. We are all experiencing and learning Zoom, and so we may not go as smooth as we want to, but that's kind of part of what being together as a reception is that we stumble as if we were in person. So a little bit about Plein Air. As many of you know, it is the 14th annual Plein Air, and this event is so personal to me and my family, as my dad, Dan Guida, was the executive director of Red Wing Arts for many years, and it was because of him and a volunteer, Joan Norgard, who kind of got together and created this idea to bring Plein Air to Red Wing. And so this event has gone on traditionally year after year. My daughter and I would literally fly up here to participate. We made friends with artists. We made close friendships with many of you, and it became this community of like the Red Wing Arts family to me. And so with COVID happening, it kind of was really hard for me personally to let it go. It's also my personality to say we're going to figure it out. And I hope we did. I hope you feel that your experience as artists and your experience as the community has been somewhat normal. Some of the things we did through Plein Air was we extended the time frame. Artists had 2.5 weeks to paint versus 4.5 days. The reasoning behind that was to provide flexibility. Typically, we host artists in volunteer homes and board member homes and staff homes. And that obviously we just didn't feel was the right ask to make this year of anybody. Other things we did to pivot was a lot of this Zoom eventing, a Zoom planning, Michael Holder's Zoom demonstration. But on the other side of that, we had a lot of direct connection. I think I saw artists meet up with other artists and have that camaraderie and mentorship and leadership and all of that existed. in our typical plein air event. So the first time when plein air started and I saw, I believe it was Diane out there painting, it just made me joyful. My whole heart was happy, and this is this neutral, beautiful experience of creation of art. And so thank you all artists who are here, who joined in and gave your time and drove miles back and forth to come here. You mean the world to us. I also want to thank, the Red Wing community is awesome. They truly embraced this event. They loved it. You could feel their energy. I hope as artists, you felt them coming in, watching you, getting excited about plein air also. But on top of that, because of our funders and sponsors, we were able to make this event happen. I think artists noticed that our awards went from, I want to say it was about $1,600 to $3,000, and that's due to sponsorships that our business community and family members stepped up and said, we have some money we want to give. And as an organization, we said we want to give it to the artist. That is where our value lies, in trying to really inspire creation and the ability for artists to continue to create. So our sponsors for the plein air event is Dan Gaida family, the Lynn Brown family, Kurt Gruhl, Kim and Dan Wiemer, Chap Aiken for his in-kind work with us. Abode Galleries, which has now moved to Red Wing, sponsored an award. Staghead sponsored an award. Red Wing Shoes sponsored an award. The Outdoor Painters of Minnesota sponsored an award. And also thanks to a grant from CMAC through the voters of Minnesota that we were able to make this possible. So let's begin. Plein air and Red Wing Arts. So this year, Dan Wiemer was our judge. Thank you, Dan, also for judging. Kind of just a couple things of the rhythm of the night is I'm going to talk a little bit about Dan, let him talk a little bit, and then we are going to just do a quick presentation of all the art that is in this gallery. And again, I want to remind you, we are open, come in. We are open Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, at least until we recognize that there is a need for more. And so check our website. I will also be open for anybody who wants to schedule an appointment. We will come in and we will open the gallery. But we are also online. The artwork is for sale online. Our exhibit gallery space didn't quite happen because we needed a little bit more information, but that will be coming. But you can still see all the art online and purchase it online. So during the event, we are also, today was our first glimpse, and we had, I believe, 16 images sold or paintings sold to this morning. So very exciting. We also, what was I gonna say? I forgot, I lost my train of thought. So this morning we were open. We have launched and just opened the online gallery, and tomorrow we will be open to the public. So if you are about and around in Red Wing, please feel free to come in. And like I said, otherwise we're here for by appointment. I will kind of transition to Dan Wiemer and say, most of you probably know Dan Wiemer, who doesn't, but Dan is not only a very recognized, awarded artist from Red Wing, he is also on the board of Red Wing Arts. He was trained as a graphic designer, but I think he always knew probably that his true calling, or we are glad his true calling is art, and the creation of watercolor art, or water media is kind of what he describes it. To kind of read a little bit about his artist statement. He does consider himself a landscape artist. The majority of his work is created in water media. He paints both on location, plein air, and in the studio. And he utilizes the opaque nature of acrylic and the transparent qualities of watercolor to create contrast. His work is also hung in our gallery. So again, if you come in, which this exhibit almost has to be seen in person, it's so stunning. But I'm gonna turn it over to Dan to just say a few words, and then we'll start the presentation.
All right, thank you, Emily. it's an honor to be the judge, and Emily and the people at Red Wing Arts have done so much work to get this to this point right here. Um, we normally jury the show down to about 28 artists, and just because of COVID and everything, we pretty much took everyone in. And so we have a show that's almost twice as large, maybe just under twice as large as usual. And it was really exciting to see all of the work. It was daunting for me as an artist to judge this. I've been on both sides. I've been judged many times, and I've also judged a handful of times. So I know how hard it is to paint plein air, how rewarding it is. And anytime you're in a competition, I always look at the camaraderie. The friends that I've made through plein air and painting are lifelong friends. I'm going to just say a couple more things, and then we'll go into the slideshow. It was incredibly difficult for me to walk around the room and over 120 paintings and literally pick too few. There were so many good paintings that weren't chosen for an award, but I think it's a testament to how our city of Red Wing has already sold 16 paintings before the award ceremony. And I really think that we might sell another 16. So that's really exciting. And I think the show, I should have checked with Emily, but the show will probably be up for a good month. So if you have a chance to come down and take a look at it, please do so. So without further ado, let's take a look. We're going to look at all of the pieces in the show, and then after that slideshow starts, then we'll start our award ceremony.
And Dan, I'm just gonna also, so we are actually extending the show. This show will be up through August.
Wonderful.
So there's plenty of time to come in, bring family and friends in, spread the word. Our goal is really to just expose the community to plein air and to this amazing exhibit. We live, as Joshua Cunningham has said, we live in this really beautiful space, and to paint it is amazing, and to highlight it through art is really cool. The other thing I want to point out is we are doing a people's choice. So as you are watching the images come through, and I know you will have about 3 seconds on each image, and you can't walk back like you're in the gallery, but throughout the day today, the people that came in filled out their people's choice. And so we are asking artists and community members who are joining us tonight to write their people, or to chat to everybody who your favorite, what your favorite painting is. And the artist will be awarded $150 People's Choice Award. So we have one of our staff members. I want to thank my staff and my volunteers for all their effort through this as well. It's been a lot to pivot, and so all of us have really just worked hard. So thank you. But I have some staff ready to track those chat messages, and so just pay attention as you watch the exhibit and get your notepads out so you can decide who you want to vote on. So we will go ahead and start. I'm going to make sure I have the right PowerPoint this time. There's a little bit of music behind it. So I'm gonna mute
All right, unmute yourself,
I
Emily.
have to unmute myself. So it's a lot to take in. There are, we count like over 100, about 140 pieces of artwork in this gallery. So it's really hard to share it all. But we will post that online. We also, like I said, it is all online. The PowerPoints will be posted online. So all of this can be seen and shared with family and friends, including the awards, this awards reception or ceremony. We will post the YouTube video also. So I apologize. We will go through it at the end. I apologize if you couldn't grab all of the art. It is a lot to take in, 3 seconds every piece. So just thank you again. I applaud you all. There's so much effort, sweat, love in the work and emotion and your personalities in each of these pieces. So I thank the artists for their time. I don't ever, after hanging this exhibit especially, I never want to be a judge. So I don't envy you, Dan. This would be a really hard one to go through. But you did, so I think we might as well award it as the artist. If you are one of the award-winning artists, please feel free to press your space bar. Dan will talk a little bit about the work, but press your space bar if you want to say anything. We would love, you know, usually we do the picture and we get to present you with the check and the ribbon and all those really cool things. So at least this time we can give you a voice tonight. So we'll turn it over. I'm going to try to share again. So we'll give grace as I transition, and I apologize if there were any mistakes through the presentation. We really, it is a lot. And so again, just ask for grace as we go through some of these things. So Dan, if you want to start talking as I share the awards.
Yeah, I'm going to just say that as the judge, by the end of the night, you make 10 friends and whatever, 100 enemies or something. But you know, I'm going to try to explain why I chose things and why the painting appealed to me. It's one person's opinion. It is probably subjective, but I have a criteria of what I was looking for, and I just am going to try to explain why the piece I thought deserved an award. So Emily, are we going to start
Ready?
with the open class, or are we going to start with the merit
Yep.
awards? Where are we going to start?
So we will start, and I will just kind of click through do you see the PowerPoint now?
I
Yes?
see 2020 awards, yes.
Okay. So we will start. So that just wanted to identify the awards and the sponsorships and recognize and give thanks again to this community and to our members and supporters for stepping up at a time that is very difficult and giving extra to support the plein air event. So to start.
All right. Starting out, we've got the open award winner. I think we had 7 open artists, and they submitted 1 painting instead of 3. And this first one is by Carrie Arnold. Her name's right there. I just thought it was really small, and it was really simple, and it was really fresh. And it's just a little jewel. It's just really directly painted, and I've got a tree in front of limestone, and it just wasn't labored. It was just a fresh little piece, and I thought it was the freshest piece of all the open things. That's why I gave this one the best open category. Next.
Carrie, is there anything you want to say?
Oh,
You
I'm
can
sorry.
unmute yourself.
Yeah, Carrie, are you there?
Yeah, I am. Thank you. This was my first time doing a plein air event, so it's very exciting.
Well, keep up the good work and keep painting. I thought it was just real fresh and kind of fearless. So very good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Let's be ready. So the next choice is Kids' Choice Award. Danny at Staghead is an artist, and her children are immersed in the arts all the time. So they actually got to choose this award. They came in this morning with the children. Danny and her boys came in, 3 boys. Well, she had a friend. So I will present the award, or Dan, you can talk about the work. So
Yeah.
It goes to James Navarro. So there's the boys picking the award. So congratulations, James.
Yeah, they loved the piece, and I thought it was really creative. And they were drawn right to it because it was so different and so unique. And I think part of the reason they liked the shape of it, and they also liked the fact that it was a night scene, and they loved the color in it. So,
a lot of color.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Okay, so then our next award, again, is so this Staghead sponsored us through a couple different ways. This way is we actually are going to do it as an award of merit, but sponsored by Staghead. And so it goes to.
This one is it Linda? Is it Crotu? Anyway, it's a small painting, and it's a spectacular painting. And I loved the brushwork. I loved how fresh the brushwork was. And I'm going to kind of refer to these 3 S's of plein air painting, where you have to see it, simplify it, and state it. And she just stated it so wonderfully. And I love the reflection, and it just was a fresh little painting. Even in the background, where the sun is hitting the trees on the one side and the trees on the left are in shadow, it's just so directly and freshly stated. That's why I picked it.
Okay.
Is Linda available?
There's like 4 pages of participants. So
Okay.
If you are, Linda, please just like press your space bar down if you want to talk. Otherwise, thank you. Well done.
All right. Thank you, Linda.
Okay, so we'll move on. So the next, this has happened for the couple of plein air events that I have been the director of, where the judge comes in and just says, "Can we please award more?" Like, this show is so good. I wish we had thousands and thousands of dollars to give out. But we extended and added a few additional awards of merit. And we'll just kind of click through them. Dan, I apologize, you don't know the order, so
Nope,
you can just
that's
kind of
fine.
ad-lib.
I'm ready.
Okay, so we'll start.
Yes, this is Maddie Bradley. And these 5 merit awards, they're like the last one. They receive $100 for being a merit award. I love this. I love this piece. It was just kind of stylized. It was like puzzle pieces that fit together, and there was just a kind of a unique style to it. And I've been up on this and painted the same scene, but I don't think I painted it this nice. And I really love there was almost a kind of an underpainting color, kind of a salmon colored, and she took a kind of a back of a brush and made these like continuous lines that work through it. And I really like that in the lower foreground, but it was just a fresh piece that caught my eye, and some of the shapes in the foreground were just simplified and turned into blocks of gradated color and so forth. So it really approaches abstraction, which I liked about this piece. Is Maddie available for a comment?
Just hold your space bar down if you are, and then you can talk. It should bring you to talk, or chat if it's a problem. We're assuming things.
Okay. Thank you, Maddie. Very beautiful piece.
Very fun.
Okay. This is Hannah Heyer. This is a beautiful piece on the north side of Barn Bluff. I've painted this piece. I painted mine in the morning, and this is a piece that was done later in the day. And I love the brushwork. Hannah is getting a kind of a shingled little, expressive little rectangular strokes that I think are fascinating. And I just love it when a piece comes out of the shadow and goes into the sun. In the foreground, there's a lot of subdued colors and not a whole lot of contrast. And as you come out of this cool, dark foreground, you just go right to that pure piece of yellow. And there's just a really nice little bits and pieces of orange that are in there as well. I just thought this was a really nice, fresh piece. Is Hannah there? No, maybe they can't come in. We'll see.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Emily.
Oh, thank you, Hannah.
Oh.
Yeah, wonderful piece. Good work.
Thank you.
All right.
And Hannah, I'll announce that Hannah, all 3 of your work sold today, so congratulations. Very exciting.
Yes.
We love having sales. So again, I'll direct people to the website. Hannah does have a reserve. It's not on the website, but we will get it up there for those who are in love with Hannah's work. But yeah, so people, please purchase that as a way to support our artists and support our events.
Thank you.
All right, Naomi, this was my favorite piece of your 3 pieces. I loved it. I like how the name of the piece is Two Flags. And it's interesting, I didn't notice it right away, and I read the title and I went back and I looked at it, and I see the flag on the memorial, or on Barn Bluff, and then the flag on top of the grain elevator. It's just a really wonderful thing. I like how everything is set low, and all this detail in the bottom is contrasted by this big resting space of sky. I just like the action line coming across the whole top. I believe you read pictures traveling along the edges of shapes, and I think you read this wonderful broken edge on the top of the painting. And then I love the tops of the boats coming across. I think you did an especially good job of simplifying boats. Boats can be really, really challenging, and you just kind of stated them, and it's a wonderful piece.
Naomi, I thought I saw you. Maybe not.
Hello, thank you, Naomi.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, we'll move on.
Lisa Stauffer. This picture is beautiful, and it's even better in real life. It's a pastel, the first pastel we've seen tonight. And Lisa is wonderful. From a textural standpoint, I love this piece. If you look at the foreground, there's so much wonderful detail, and there's a really exciting intensity contrast that the intensity is in the foreground, and as you go back, you lose that intensity. And that way it creates depth. And I just thought this was a really nice piece, a really fresh piece, and I thought it used pastel in a really interesting way. Some of the strokes in the middle of the painting are just broken pastel strokes, but they're so convincing that they look like the texture of the lily pads and the algae on top of the water. I thought this was a good piece. Although I shouldn't say it, and I wouldn't say it, but your reserve piece that's in the closet, I like the best of all of your pieces, but I'm not supposed to say that. But this is a gorgeous piece, Lisa.
Thanks, Dan.
You're welcome, Lisa. And Emily, tell Lisa about her artwork as well.
Oh
About
yes,
her
Lisa is
sale.
all sold too,
Yeah.
all three of hers. So we, for those artists who have sold all of their work, I think actually Naomi as well. I have to go look, but I know we have at least a couple sales, Naomi. And I just see a message that the space bar didn't work for you. Maybe Kim can come in and unmute you if you want to talk, Naomi. But so Lisa got a call this morning because one of our guests really wanted to understand this painting in particular. So I think it's definitely well-deserved of an award of merit.
Well, thanks, Emily. We'll get some more reserve pieces out of the closet soon.
We are ready
I know.
to. They are sitting on the floors. So,
Thanks.
okay, next work.
Thank you, Lisa. All right, this is Jim Turner's piece. I really liked all of Jim Turner's pieces. I like this one, I think, the best. Jim is a really masterful watercolor artist, and the first thing that struck me about this piece is that when you paint in the end of June, everything is green, and you don't have to subscribe to the local color. You can make things any color you want to. And you can almost use the scene that's in front of you as a leaping off point. I love how the eye enters the bottom of this painting, and it almost goes down a road. It goes to the left, and then it goes back to the right, and it leads you to the focal point, which is that pure white roof of that a barn. The cattle in there are great. Jim is great with figures and animals. And again, real quickly, I love the shapes in this piece where the action is on the edges of the shapes, and the centers of the shapes are these resting areas. And I think he does that really well on this piece. I really particularly like this piece. The only pure piece of white is the roof of that house. And there's little bits and pieces of white here and there that are kind of echo that, but the white on the roof is really the star of the show. Good work, Jim.
Thanks, Dan.
Here we are.
It's an honor to be awarded in this show. There were so many good pieces.
There truly are. Like I said, you have to see this in person to really appreciate the quality and the talent of this exhibit. And I want to thank Jim for giving some of his time to also join together some of the artists so that we could have a sort of feeling of normalness. So thank you for extending yourself to that.
My pleasure. It's always fun to meet up with old friends in Red Wing.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay. West End.
Okay, this was an award that was given to the best end picture, which is kind of Old West Maine. And this is Derek Davis. Derek Davis won the Best of Show last year, and Derek is an amazing painter. This is if you're familiar with Old West Maine, these two are walking towards Kelly's, and at the end of the painting is kind of the outdoor seating area at Kelly's. And Derek can paint as good in oil as he can in watercolor, which is a rare feat. But I always love his work because he kind of diffuses everything that's not critical. So he has little bits and pieces of pure color and pure accent, and everything else around it is subdued. And he just can do so much with a simple scene. And this is a classic Derek Davis. I loved it.
And for those who don't know, Derek Davis won Best of Show last year, and that was the image that you saw on all of our marketing. So thank you for sharing and allowing that, Derek.
Yeah, is Derek there?
I thought I saw him.
And this award was donated by
Abode.
yeah, Alan and Steve, who have the Pie Shop in Red Wing, and they also have the Abode Gallery in Stockholm, Wisconsin, and they're very great supporters of the arts.
So I'm also going to announce, for those who don't know, Abode has moved to Red Wing. So we are really excited to partner with them and celebrate more arts and art galleries in this area, because that is what our goal and mission is, to bring the arts to this community. So yes, so Abode is now in Red Wing.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Best collection.
All right. I'm going to have to turn the page here. Best collection. Angie, Angie's pieces were wonderful. I loved her just directness. I know she's does a lot of plein air painting, and she just simplifies things and states it. The piece on the lower left on the screen is where my wife Kim and I, every morning at 6:30, we take the dogs and we walk the loop, and it's a special place. And I just love the piece, just that distant hill, the highlight shape and the shadow shape, and how Angie varies her greens. I'm going to talk about that as we get farther into it. It's so difficult to paint greens, and that's all there is right now in June, is greens everywhere. But some of her greens are warm, and some of them are cool, and some of them are chalky, and some of them are even kind of bluish black. And I love the freshness of Angie's work.
Okay, so Kim, I'm talking to you. Kim is helping on the back end. It looks like the spacebar thing isn't working, so if you want to unmute the artist just in case they want to talk, that would be helpful. You don't have to, as an artist, say anything, I promise. But if you want to, Kim will try to find you to unmute you. Give it just a second in case, because I hear a couple different, both Naomi and Derek said the spacebar didn't work. So sorry about that.
Derek should be unmuted now. Try it.
Okay, so Naomi, if you are there, we can't, I only see like 15, 20 people, so I apologize. But thank you, Angie. And if you have one to talk, we will listen. Otherwise, we'll move on. Okay.
I didn't see Angie. I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Angie.
Say, Emily, I found how to unmute, and it's if you wiggle, at least for my computer, if I wiggle my mouse, it's on the bottom left corner.
Okay.
There's like a little thing you can push. So I'm gonna, I'll go back on mute though. So
Thanks, Naomi.
Thank you, Naomi.
So the Red Wing Shoe Award, Red Wing Shoes donated a $300 gift card. So we kind of claimed it a Rivertown Award. So you will have, Diane, you have a $300 gift card to Red Wing Shoes for a pair of their awesome shoes or boots.
All right. This piece, all of Diane Foster's pieces were wonderful, and I really considered her strongly for best group. The first Saturday of the event, Kim and I came to Red Wing Arts, and she was painting a picture that day, and I wasn't familiar with her, but I loved her painting. And it was her other painting. This little painting I chose because it was this wonderful, intimate little statement. And most people would see the big steel pilings and the big steel walls where the barges hook up to as just this ugly piece of steel. And I love how much color she's got into it. Where the sun is hitting it on the top, it almost has every color in the spectrum. And I like how the rope leads your eye up into this, and your eye comes back down around the flowers. And these little flowers that are next to that shadow shape, the best way to make a little piece of pure color pop is surrounded by its neutralized opposite. So she's got this pure piece of yellow on the flower surrounded by this dark, dirty purple, and the yellow flowers just pop out of this painting. I just loved, and I love little scenes like this where most people walk by them and they don't give them a second thought, and I thought this was a beautiful little painting.
Okay.
I do have something to say.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I just want to say thank you. And I am a proud owner of Red Wing boots, and so I'll be happy to use the gift card.
Yay.
Wonderful.
I'm a proud owner of many, I'm sure. I love them. So we're excited. We're grateful for Red Wing Shoes support. Okay.
Thank you.
Next
Thank you, Diane.
is Best Sense of Place.
Yeah, this is a piece by Joe Nelson, and I walked by this piece and I kept being attracted to it. It's a piece that most people would drive by in search of this spectacular painting site. And to me, it is just such a wonderful little slice of suburbia. There was something about it where I kept coming back and looking at this little piece of art. And again, it was like these puzzle pieces come together. The chairs and the little flower basket are kind of the center of interest, and they're almost right in the exact center of this painting, which I normally would say, that bothers me. But in this case, it doesn't, because it's almost like it's the center of their world, is visiting in those chairs, sitting by their flower basket. And so this piece had a charm to it about me, and I really thought the Sense of Place award fit on this piece. I really liked it.
And now we'll move to third place.
Is Joe available?
Oh, yes, it's Joe. I'm sorry, Joe.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan. I just really, I'm always attracted to these little ordinary scenes that seem like a moment in time, and just kind of like that, the charm of everyday life.
You captured it, and you made the ordinary extraordinary. I just think it's just a wonderful little statement. Really good.
Thank you.
Okay, so third place.
All right, third place. Lynn Brown is, she's lived in Red Wing for a long time. She lives just outside of Red Wing now. A couple of years ago on a plein air festival, there was a person, and it wasn't Lynn, but a person was painting very stylized, and the person said, I'll never win an award in a plein air thing because I don't paint in a plein air style. And I thought that was kind of an absurd thing to do, to say. There is a kind of a traditional classic style, but to me, when you're standing in front of a scene, you can choose to capture it exactly how you see it, or you can choose to use it as a jumping off point. And Lynn has had this wonderful abstract sense to it. She paints with a palette knife and she cuts back into the wet paint. I really love this piece. I liked all three of Lynn's pieces and also considered giving her the best grouping. But this piece really stood out to me. I think square compositions are a little more exciting and a little more difficult to do. But it is just such a pure piece of organic versus geometric, and it's so wonderful and loose and abstract. And then you come up and the little piece of white on the edge of the barn and the 90-degree angle really is the focal point. So it creates a couple different contrasts. But her pieces you really have to see in person because they're really three-dimensional. There's a lot of texture and paint that's coming off. I really like this piece. I think Lynn, the longer she paints kind of in this style, her stuff is becoming more and more sophisticated. And I really thought this deserved an award.
Lynn, are you there?
Hello, Lynn. Thank you.
We will go to second place. You ready? Second place.
Second place went to Joshua Cunningham. The last two pieces, I went back and forth, and Joshua he's an amazing painting. He really is kind of a master colorist, in my opinion. this piece, again, I keep saying that, but this piece is better in person too. It's early morning light. It's very dramatic light. I almost see the light coming across like fingers, and they're just skimming the tops of the trees and the tops of the grass. And I absolutely love, there's a little bit of fog in the distance with a little broken brush stroke, but I think Joshua's painting of greens is just masterful. There's violets in the shadow, and there's really some warmth in the highlight. I particularly like the stream in the foreground where the sun comes across the stream. It almost illuminates the bottom, and where the sun is not on the stream, it reflects the blue from the sky. And it's so restrained and so spectacular that it is a real masterful piece. To me, I almost hate to say this because he's going to say, no, those aren't cows. But in the midsection, it almost looks like there's cows laying down, and a little piece of light catches the back of a cow, and there's a little fleck of brown. Maybe I want to see that. But this is such a well-designed piece, and everything about it I absolutely loved. I spent about a half hour going from this piece to the one that I chose for best of show, going back and forth, and I decided just barely to give this second. Joshua's grouping was incredibly strong. He's got a very large painting of light on a farm on Old Church Road, and he's got another stream picture. He has Wells Creek and Bell Creek, and of his three, I like them all. I like this one the best of his three, and that's why I chose this one and pulled this one out. It's a fabulous painting, and it's larger. It's half again as large as a lot of the paintings that we've been looking at tonight. It's really dramatic.
Beautiful, very beautiful. As I'm looking at it right now. So, hey, are we ready for first place or for the Dan Guide of Best of Show?
Is Joshua there?
Oh yeah, I think I saw him.
I am here. Thank you very much. Those are cows.
Yes.
In the back with the like, you got it right. So
yeah.
For you. And it was a very early morning, and so I had to leave St. Paul around 5 to catch this light at this time to get any kind of shadows going across the pasture.
Did you do it in one setting, or did you come back to the same spot multiple times?
I did this painting I did in 3 mornings.
Okay.
And the very large one of the farm on Old Church Road was 5 visits. And the twilight painting was 1, but I had seen it every night I had gone home from the Old Church Road piece. So I had it in my head pretty firmly before I started.
It was gorgeous. You're very good. Your body of work was really good, strong. Thank you, Joshua.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
And first, best of show.
All right. I gave best of show to Philip Carlton. He's up on top of Barn Bluff on the downriver side. And this really struck me. I kept coming back to it. If you see it in person, the background of the painting is even blasted out even more. The glare, you're looking directly into the sun right after sunrise. And I have painted from this scene before, but what I didn't do was I didn't paint the vultures that were flying below me, and he did. And I thought that was incredible. To give you a sense of being up on top of a bluff, he captured it by these birds that are in the lower right-hand corner. There's a bird flying below you, and there's birds on the right. But something about this piece, and he slightly stylized it. I thought it was gutsy to put a vulture dead in the center where the sun is. It's almost the blackest thing on the whole painting. I love the foreground. There is color intensity, there's value contrast, there's color contrast, and as you go back in the distance, you lose that value contrast and you lose the intensity contrast. So it gives a great feeling of depth, it gives a great feeling of height, and it was a good choice. Plein air painters don't have to paint everything in front of them. He either took out the 2 NSP smokestacks that are directly in the center of the scene, or he moved them off to the left. And another reason that I gave this one best of show is all three of Philip's works I thought were dynamite. And I've seen his work develop in the past, and I love this little stylized brushstroke he's starting to do. And everything about this painting I loved. I went back and forth between Joshua's painting and Philip's painting for probably a half hour and ended up choosing this as best of show. And I think you need to come down and see it in person. And I know that this painting also sold today. I know someone purchased this painting. So wonderful job, Philip. Yeah, I can go on, but your brushwork, everything about it is really, really skilled. I loved it. And it's also a larger piece, again, like Joshua's was. Are you there, Philip? No?
He was, let's see. He said he was listening, so I wonder if he's on his phone.
He might be on his phone. If he can't come in, I'll just say wonderful job. And I know how hard you work. You're out there and you're cranking them out. And this was really a beautiful, beautiful piece. And I loved your yellow house painting, and I loved your other painting from the overview. Just like Joshua's, I could have picked almost any three of them. I liked them all.
So Cookie Monster, I'm guessing is
That's me.
That's you. All right,
Yay.
there we are.
Can you hear me?
Congratulations.
We can.
Thank you. That was a really exhausting piece to do. I really did not like getting up at like 4:30 for two mornings to go paint that, but I'm glad I did.
Were you set up at like 5 a.m. or 5:30 to get that sun coming up right there?
Oh, I think I left St. Paul around 5:30 and probably ended up getting set up about 7 a.m. I did it over 2 mornings for like 4 hours. So it was like 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Over 2 different mornings.
All right, it's incredible. Nice job.
Thanks. I'm glad you liked the birds, because I was like, I don't add animals, but when I was there both days, there were like 10, they weren't even ravens, they were vultures, and like 10 vultures just like flying above and below me. And I'm like, I got to put something in. It seems right.
It made it for me. I mean, I said ravens accidentally. I did mean vultures, but it's so beautiful. It really makes the piece. I thought it was a gutsy attempt, and I think you pulled it off perfectly.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yay.
So
thank you.
Again, like Dan, I don't envy you. This show is so beautiful, and it just makes my heart warm. So I like, yeah, if I could take them all home, I would. But
I want to do a quick statement in closing. Thank you, Emily. The people that won the first and second place, the paintings are larger and they spent multiple times on the same spot. Claude Monet used to have a rainy day painting, a morning painting, a windy painting. So he would go out and he would capture the light during that time. I think a lot of times people spend too much time on a painting and the light changes and you start to change the light and your shadow patterns fall apart. I think when people paint big pieces, if you can go and paint on that painting for an hour and do the same light morning after morning or evening after evening, then you get a better sense of capturing the true light. So that's what both Philip and Joshua did, and it was really effective.
So again, just to stress, please come into the gallery. If you cannot get to Red Wing, we are online. The exhibit is for sale online. Support our artists, support the creative energy and just the beauty of art right now. So please go to the website. If you haven't, congratulations to all of our award winners. It is so exciting to see this show. So yeah, big congratulations. We have a People's Choice that has been coming in. I don't think, if you haven't voted, send a quick text out or chat out. Otherwise, I have been told who the winner is. So I will give a quick moment break just to see anyone can text or chat the People's Choice real quick.
Real quickly, Emily, I'm going to jump in.
Yep.
Congratulations to the award winners, but congratulations to the people that participated and did not win awards. A different judge would pick different pieces, and so many people had so many pieces that I couldn't pick because I didn't have enough awards. So come down and see all the beautiful pieces that did not win awards.
Yeah, please do. Okay, so I'm gonna, let's see, thank also one more time. I just want to thank the people who supported this, because again, as an arts organization in this time of COVID and chaos, you've heard so many organizations closing, shutting down doors, but because of members, because of our funders and our grants, we are still here. We are still putting on festivals. We're doing concerts in the park starting in 2 weeks because we can and because we want to, and because of your support, we are. So again, we thank the Dan Guida family, the Lynn Brown family, Kurt Gruhl, Dan and Kim Wiemer, Chap Aiken, Abode, Staghead, Red Wing Shoe, OPM, and CMAC for your support of this. We thank our artists, and we thank our members who constantly support us to get us through at times like this. So I think we have, unless anything has changed, has it changed, Sean? No? Okay. So the winner is, let me find it. It is, oh my goodness, it is Between the Rock and the River by Hannah Heyer. So that is your People's Choice Award. Thank you, Hannah. Well done. I love this show and cannot wait to see people in the gallery. Come on in Thursday, Friday, Saturday right now by appointment. If you're not able to make it on those days, I try to be available as I can. So we want you to see the exhibit, and well done, everybody. It's been awesome. It's so fun to see this and to have this experience. So thank you all so much.
Thank you.
I'm going to start the exhibit. If for those who didn't get to see the whole exhibit, I will stop the awards presentation and share the entire PowerPoint again. Hopefully, we'll try. Maybe. We'll see. It might not work. There you go. So feel free to leave us if you have seen this, but for those who came in the middle, enjoy watching. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank Joshua for your help, your motivation, your encouragement in getting me through this, and just in watching and seeing the images that you've turned in has motivated me. So thank you, Joshua, for all of the last couple months. Is it going forward or not? Oh, I have to move it. Okay, we'll try again. There we go. Oh, sorry. It didn't work. We'll try it one more time, and then we'll just call it. Maybe not. It's not wanting to share the screen anymore. I apologize, people. We will have it up on our website, and we'll have the PowerPoint on our website. I apologize, I can't show it again. The Zoom is not liking it right now. So
thank you,
everybody.
Yep,
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. Well done.